Okay, good evening.
Verizon commercial. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Everybody, thank you all for showing up today. Our fearless leader, Chair Dickerson, is going to be out today. So let's see how we can get this done. Thank you all for coming to the Brunswick Housing Authority Board meeting for September 22nd, 2025. The time is 6:10 p.m. and I will call this meeting to order and start us off with an invocation. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for our community, Heavenly Father. Thank you for our families, Heavenly Father. We thank you for the opportunity to serve. We ask that you guide us throughout this meeting, that is all of you and none of us. We ask all these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Right. Any additions or changes to the agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I move that we remove item 3 from this agenda,
Item 3.
the Coastal Phoenix and Gordon Armstrong meetings.
Okay. And the reason being?
I think we can have those meetings after this meeting, after item 4.
Oh,
and
you're
5.
saying it should be a part of this agenda?
That's correct.
Okay. That makes sense to me. Commissioners, you all okay with that?
Yes.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I get a second to remove item 3 off of the current agenda?
Second.
We have a first and a second to approve the agenda with the exception of removing item 3. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
All right. And so we'll come back to that after this meeting, Mr. Baston.
Okay.
All right. The minutes. 1C for work session, executive session. Any changes, corrections? And Commissioner Cullen, did we find out what was going on with your email? But you got it. You got the information this time.
I did.
All right. Okay. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the minutes. Anybody want to offer a motion?
Go ahead.
I'm out on this one.
You have to tell me what to say. Just I motion to accept.
Yeah, just make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay. Ms. Hayes, are you open to seconding that since you were here?
Second.
We have a first and a second to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays have the same opportunity. It passes.
Aye.
Thank you. Item 2, new business, resident council. Ms. Hosley, you're up.
I like the entrance coming in from the hall.
Oh,
Can we-
yeah.
You want some theme music next time?
No. I was waiting on the phone call. I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Maisha Hosted, and I'm currently the president of the Resident Council. Our resident engagement is steadily increasing, and we're beginning to see new faces become involved. We would like to encourage our residents to participate. Communication between residents and staff it has improved, and it's created stronger connections. Our food pantry is slated to reopen on October the 16th. Currently, we have 28 submissions for the renaming of our food pantry, and the winner will be announced at the October work session. The Resident Council, we have set the dates for October. then on 10/7, we will be having Spooky Science. On 10/16, we will have our second annual breast cancer awareness event. On 10/23, we will have our resident empowerment at 11, and then our board meeting at 5:30 that evening. And on 10:30, we will have our family night trunk or treat. The resident council would like to thank everyone for their participation and continued support. Are there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Can you give me those dates again?
Yes, ma'am. 10/7, Spooky Science. 10/16, the second annual breast cancer awareness event. 10/23, resident empowerment at 11. Resident council board meeting at 5:30. And then 10:30 is the family night trunk or treat. I'll have you aside.
Are we, is the city still doing the,
They canceled it this year because they had too many events, the ball game, the fair, and they felt they would
the, what is it, nights out? What do they call it?
No, not that. This
That's
is
what-
trunk or treat that they did last year with downtown DVA. But the nights, they have a day for community night out.
Right, that's what I was talking
Community
about.
night. This,
It's gonna be at Mayor Ross?
yes.
Okay,
Main thing of the day.
all right. I liked it when it was over here, actually. Okay. All right. Any questions? Ms. Hayes, any questions? Ms. Host?
How's the food pantry planning coming?
It's coming along great. Jaws Post and residents, they have volunteered to actually come in and help clean out the pantry. So we have one room is completely done, cleaned out, and working on the second.
And resident council and BHA staff is working together well on that. Everybody's
Jaws Post and Ross and residents.
everybody's doing good.
Yes, sir.
Great.
And with the pantry, we're gonna allow people to come in and shop themselves, or we're gonna fix it and give it? Have we decided that part yet?
Once they're get ready to do their presentation, so I don't want to say.
Oh, okay. I'll wait till then.
That's not. So as far as with, everyone won't be able to come in and actually do it themselves, but as far as
We're gonna do that. We're gonna,
okay.
so we created positions, and we'll have a person that will prep a prepper, or a prep person. So we'll have a person that come in and actually prepare them. So as they come in, we'll be able to just grab them. So it's a lot of forms they can just grab them.
Okay.
Also, we're working on a partnership with Sea Otter Laundry. So as we start taking donations to the clothes closet, we can have that stuff washed and it'll be already covered. So when we bring it back, we can just let people know.
Okay.
Yes, of course,
All right. Sounds great. All right, thank you. Okay. Ms. Richardson, Ross update, item 2B. Ms. Hayes, can you see the screen?
No, sir.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
Good evening. I'm a little nervous, but I'll do the best that I can. So I am the law program coordinator here at Brunswick Housing Authority, and I was asked to come before the board to explain what Ross is. So I've created a small slide, short slide, and the introduction is, what is Ross? Ross is Ross program stands for Resident Opportunity and Self-Sufficient. The grant that was awarded was $255,750. And it pays for the coordinator's salary, fringe benefits, training, and travel that's related to professional and program development. What is the overall goal? The overall goal for Ross is the grant allows the Ross coordinator to link the resident to public housing and housing funding to provide supportive services and activities, enabling them to make progress towards economic independence and housing self-sufficiency. The Ross grant can identify additional goals based on the needs of the public housing community that we serve. One of the other goals also is to reduce and eliminate the welfare assistance and to increase earned income. Who does Ross serve? It primarily serves the families here in housing, but it also serves the population of our elderly ages 62 and older, and those persons that are disabled. And this also helps to enhance the quality of life by connecting residents to services and activities. The Ross grant is also try to avoid costly forms of expenses, such as putting residents into nursing homes and other financial institutions. So we kind of help them along the way with whatever services they're in need of.
Did you flip the switch on the side by accident? Yeah, I just
No, it's on. Currently, right now, the services that are being provided, currently Ross has 42 of 50 participants as of September the 19th of 2025. I have a max caseload of 50 residents that the Ross grant is allowed to service. In that, 12 of the 42 participants are seniors or disabled residents that have been identified, whether through site managers or just walking the communities, through family members or other BHA staff. And on the third bullet, some of the other services that we provide is Ross helps with is employment. We've made a partnership with the Goodwill, so we do send our residents, whether they're coming in from Jobs Plus or they're coming in and they're looking for employment. So Goodwill has been one of the partners that we've used. I've reached out to local food banks and churches and organizations that have helped with food giveaways. We've done healthcare referrals. Something such as Medicaid, Medicare Monday. We brought in someone to come in to allow the residents that are currently on Medicaid and Medicaid understand their benefits, so that they'll have a better understanding of that and what's inside their benefits and any upcoming changes. I've also coordinated with Operation Bedspread, and I think Housing Mate or someone within Housing Mate have had that contact. But I've been able to help quite a few residents that don't have beds get beds through Operation Bedspread. I've also helped with the distribution of passing out the emergency supplies and equipments, and we have some other emergency supplies and equipment that's coming up. So those are just some of the services that the Ross program that I do currently do, but there are many other needs that I do fulfill within the community, and I don't know those needs until I'm walking the community and talking with them. So everyone's self-sufficiency, the goal is to make the residents self-sufficient, but I look at self-sufficiency, even though there's a guideline, but everyone's self-sufficiency is different. So I try to tailor it towards that individual to help them get on track. Bradley, could you go to actually slide 4? No, not that one. Next one. Yes. On slide 4, I have a resident here just to briefly highlight some of the things that I have done with some of the residents. And I received this email message from a resident that had went through Jobs Plus as well as Ross. And this is her quote. She said, "I wanted to share my positive experience with Ross and Jobs Plus. They have helped me accomplish so much in a short period of time. Ms. Richardson was very helpful and hands-on with helping me get employment, attaining birth certificates, social security cards, as well as any barriers needing to help me overcome my barriers. She also connected me with Ms. Taylor at Jobs Plus that equally was as helpful and excited about helping me succeed to become self-sufficient." And this was the end of her quote. Also, Ms. Kyer, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but she just this past week, she needed some car seats. She had a WIC appointment, and she didn't have car seats to put in the vehicle, and she needed a ride. Of course, we could not transport her because she didn't have car seats for her younger children. So Ms. Evans, case manager for Jobs Plus, and I began to reach out to different local organizations, the City of Brunswick Fire Department, Glenn County PD, and then eventually I asked her to contact the Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office did have some car seats available. We coordinated that time and we picked them up on the same day. And as you can see, these are car seats that the Glenn County Sheriff's Office donated to her. And the last slide.
That was on slide?
No,
Or do you want
yeah,
this?
that one. And there's plate on there.
Let's go. My name is Audrey High. I live at 54 Mercy Airtime Apartment. I am a sergeant at arms. I like what Mrs. Richards has done for the group in Mercy Airtime. She has helped me. I mean, help me. I know where to go get food if I need it. She helped me with my Medicaid. She's a good person to work with, and I love her so much.
All right.
And that's all that I have. But you know, these are just some of the success stories. There's many other ones. I could go on and on, but I know that there's a time limit, and I want to respect everybody's time. And thank you for the opportunity. Any questions?
Thank you.
Does Ross help with them saving money for different things, for home ownership or education?
Yes. Today we actually spoke with Navy Federal Credit Union, and we're going to start a workshop series for financial literacy for the residents in public housing, FSS, even staff, to show them how to save money the right way, how to get out of debt and move up to home ownership. So it's going to be a series. It's been suggested that, you know, we do some other things with it. So yes, to answer your question.
So is are there incentives for them to save, like matching money?
Yes, and they Navy Federal will go into that more detail with the residents. But when the time does come, I will extend an invitation to the board if they would like to step in and hear it. But I do know it will be on 2nd and 4th Fridays of the month, starting in October,
Okay.
from 11:30 to 12:30, and they'll stay longer if need be for questioning.
Okay, no, I guess what I was trying to see is, in the past, I thought Ross or somebody, it might have been FSS match.
FSS has an escrow that they
Right.
put in. Job Plus provides a JPID, which pays for their increased rent if
Right.
they work. So one of the mechanisms that we want to put in place will allow Navy Federal to show them how to save that money that we're spending out the grant. Instead of them paying for it, create some type of savings or CD to save for purchasing a house or purchasing anything that we possibly need down the future. So we try to take advantage of all the programs with Navy Federal.
Right, but there is matching money for their savings?
Not through Ross. No, not through Ross. Navy Federal may have something, but we don't have anything to match. None of our programs match anymore.
Okay, and they don't do that anymore then?
Mhm.
Okay. At one time, they had a matching program, because I helped a couple people with qualifying for home ownership, and I know they could get up to like $7,000 in the savings. All right, sounds good. Thank you, Ms. Richardson. Did a great job.
Thank you.
All right. Lease agreement changes. Who is that?
These are the changes that have been, that were provided last board meeting. We were just waiting for an approval. That's with the lease changes and the ACOP.
Can we point out what the changes were?
In the last board meeting, it was requested that we put into the lease that the tenant can request a hearing for based on our decisions, like if they receive a 14-day notice. So I don't know if it's highlighted in your package, but the darker parts of we just updated our letters. Keep going, I think.
It's good. It's good.
Yes. Yes.
It looks like this.
So you're looking at the ACOP right now, but if you keep going, the parts that were highlighted, the darker areas,
That's the beginning of it.
yes.
So what do we do if we send somebody a 14-day notice, then they have 5 days to request a hearing?
We place the notices on their doors.
Okay. So then they have 5 days to request a hearing. And then they have 3 days, at least 3 days before the hearing. What happens whenever the time exceeds 14 days? So we send somebody, or we post the 14-day notice, and their hearing isn't until 20 days later. Do we evict them?
No, we don't just automatically evict. We take it to the court. Our procedures has always been, they get the notice, they come in and they speak with us. If we can't come to an agreement, then we move forward with going to court. So then we allow the judge to make the decision if they would be evicted or not.
I guess what I'm asking is, there's going to be, if we give them 14 days, there's going to be many times, because they have at least 8 days to respond and provide their documents. there's going to be a lot of times where that 14 days expires before their hearing. Does that make sense? And what do we do if that is the case?
Typically, the warrant is not filed until after we've had an opportunity to try to mediate and resolve the case. And then once that occurs, rather that's 14 days, 20 days, 28 days, because a lot of times we can't have that hearing for them within 2 or 3 weeks. It may be the next month. And so until that time, the 14 days just kind of held in abeyance.
So if we provide the 14-day notice and which serves as our demand for immediate possession, we would need to re-demand immediate possession after the hearing. Is that right? How's your landlord-tenant law?
Not super.
No. It would still remain in effect, and it wouldn't be enforceable until we file a warrant to have the case brought before a judge in magistrate court.
Right, but you have to demand possession before you file in court, right? You have to terminate. I don't know that it needs to be in this procedure.
From what I've seen, no. Typically, the warrant is requesting through the court possession, and they're the only ones that can give us possession. We can't. We go to some tenants based on some circumstances, and we said, "Yay, we can go to court and try and get an eviction on your record, or if you feel that we're in the right, you can just turn in the keys." And so, but if they don't turn in the keys and they decide to stay, the judge is the only person that can grant the possession.
Fair enough. We can talk about that briefly in executive session.
Right. So then we are not at the point of approval for this stuff, right? Other questions? Ms. Hayes, you have any questions around the lease agreement changes?
Yeah, for executive session.
All right. So we'll defer approval. Ms. Richards, you have any questions now?
No, I don't. Not right now.
All right. Okay. Move on to item D. ACOP policy. Is that how we're saying it? Is that what this is, the criminal activity?
No, sir. You go back to the part where it says with the chart.
This right here?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So these are the changes, including with the hot room, that we made to our ACOP.
These are all from HUD.
Yes.
So we're just changing our policies and procedures to be in line with the HUD guidelines.
Correct.
Since they removed seek work from childcare, do we have anything in place that assists the residents while they are seeking work? Since they don't have that anymore as a part of the regulation, do we have any way that we help them when they're seeking work? I mean, you do have some people that legit.
That was something they really couldn't police. They say looking for work and we paying this.
And you can't find out they're really doing it.
This makes the whole process a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
So we know that they need childcare once they get the job. They can, every 2 weeks they ask them, "I'm looking for work. Can you watch my child? We paying for it." So it just makes it a lot smoother and more consistent for all the programs they pay for.
I just think it's hard to find childcare if you can't find childcare. If you're trying to find work and you don't have somebody to keep the kids.
We've been working with them as they seek and find employment, and we expedite the whole process of obtaining childcare as soon as they get their job. Because, you know, realistically, they can find time to do what they want to do. And it also, you know, have us to watch closer to them for those who are seriously trying to attain employment. So the last time it worked pretty well.
Yeah.
And there's an arrangement with the child. She got somebody to babysit. Because everybody has somebody to watch. But we watched that very closely. And we was ready to expedite. As soon as she got the offer, we started the process. So we had everything ready before she accepted the job. So it was a smooth transition.
So what if there's somebody new to the, I mean, we accept applications from all over the place, right? Anywhere in the country?
What was what?
Hmm?
Yes. For housing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what if everybody don't have somebody?
Right, I'm just saying if somebody's new to the community.
There's someone.
So then
we haven't ran into that problem yet.
Yeah, so we'll just try to find a placement or temporary with somebody.
We find some abuse happening with that seek over the years. Yeah.
All right. Okay, any questions? I guess, do we need to talk about this or can we vote on this? Since this is all mandated by HUD, right? The changes? Commissioners, are you all?
I move to approve the ACOP policy as presented.
A second.
We have a first and a second to approve the ACOP policies as presented. Any other questions before we vote? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ms. Hayes? Aye. All right, that is approved. All right, we'll move on to 2E. Mr. Williams.
I provided 2 reports on work order summaries here. I know I was asked to bring forward all of the work orders that were open past 90 days. And also I got there's one report where how you can decipher the difference between the two, which it should be in order. It should be about 8 pages and then 2 pages. But at the bottom it says page 1 of 9. And that should go all the way to 8. So that'll be one report, that 9-page report. That'll be every work order, open, closed, regardless of status, created in the past. I went a little bit farther than 30 days. I went to August the 1st, from August the 1st to today. It's every work order that has been entered into our system here. When you look at it, the far left-hand corner is the work order number. So this is how you can, it'd be great if you guys gave me 10 work orders to give you a report on. Any random 10 from anywhere on there. And I'll bring you back at the next meeting. I'll bring you back a report on that work order, whether it was completed as of today, whether it wasn't, why it wasn't completed, and if we completed it later on. And if I can, and the resident will allow me to provide the information, I'll get a report from them as well about the said work order. So that's that one step right there. On here it says we are averaging, per this report, we're averaging 9 days. 9 days to complete a work order. There's a grand total of 293 work orders there from August the 1st to now. 293 work orders. We're averaging 9 days of work order. Some of those are still open. Some of them are still open, but when I was formulating the report, I realized there were a lot of open work orders. Like I had like 182 that were still open. So I had Ms. Pierce get on the phone and start calling the residents so that I don't send the guys over and go back and waste manpower checking things that might have been done. I had to get on the phone, call the residents, see if the work had been completed, and go back and start closing out those work orders that were open. That's how I got my open work orders down. They went from 192, and she told me today there was still 46. So she'll dispatch those, and they'll get back to looking at those. The second report is 2 pages, and this is supposed to be a 60+ report. It would not give it to me the way that I was looking for. So it gave me 34 total work orders. Out of that, there's 7 of them that are open past 60 days. And I'm not even going to stand here and tell you I know what's going on with it. But we have a meeting scheduled with the maintenance team on Wednesday to discuss these 2 reports, and we'll figure out what's going on with these 60+ work orders. So if y'all keep those and see the work order number over there, I'll bring a report back to the next meeting about these open over 60 and let you know if they were still open, why they're still open, what's going on with them. I will provide you with that. But me and Mr. Blunt, we do have a meeting scheduled with the maintenance staff on Wednesday to talk about the time it's taken to address some of these work orders and figure out what we have going on with it. If it's something where we're not just turning in paperwork, or may not be turning in paperwork, and maybe work order is still open, maybe it's completed. I mean, there was a lot that was completed. It was a bathroom, but we will have a meeting about this Wednesday and try to get on top of it so this report starts looking different.
Commissioners, questions? Mr. Williams.
At first glance, this doesn't look, it looks like we're doing a pretty good job, especially taking care of the emergent things and like the big ticket items where we're spending money on materials. Those close out quicker than what I'm imagining is light fixtures out and things like that. So that's good, positive. Abated date versus closed date. Abatement is what we put in for emergency.
Yeah, you get abatement back from emergencies, and that's gonna be emergency. And obviously, the other way you can put a work order in there.
So if somebody has water pouring through their roof,
we're gonna put that in as emergency. But there is another category of work order that constitutes a 24-hour fix in the work order system, and it's built into that system. And I think every now and then somebody might use that code for a work order, and they'll give you back an abatement once you prepare it. And it's not necessarily urgent.
Right.
Urgent. It's not really an emergency, but it's
needs
something
to be
that may
taken
be
care
causing somebody some problems.
So when we have something like water coming through a roof, we go and we abate that emergency, and it's marked as having been abated.
Yes, sir.
Do we go ahead and, like, if there's a hole in the ceiling after that, stop the water? The emergency's been abated, but there still is a maintenance.
New work order to repair the hole.
Okay. And that'll typically get entered in right below. Like, I see most of the ones where it's an emergency, there's some routine that falls in right below it. Is that
Probably
right?
not the same thing though.
Nope.
It's probably a totally different. Those are all going to be different units. See, in the other section, I had to, mark it out, but that's your resident address. It's probably a different unit.
Fair enough. All right. But we do, once we patch up the emergency, we open a second work order to fix anything that's not emergent.
Sometimes.
If it's needed.
Most of the time, we'll go ahead and repair that hole right then.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll repair that hole right then. And it may hold the work order open for a few days to go back and repair. I like to close it out. When I got the emergency abated, I close it out, then I'll leave a note on the work order for Ms. Field. Hey, open a new work order for this item. And that way you get that emergency closed out in the 24 hours that you have to do so.
Got it.
Ms. Hayes, any questions, comments around maintenance?
No, sir, I don't have that paperwork that you guys have.
I think Ms. Kerr said she put it into email for you.
What's your financials?
But just in general, I know you moved up to the voucher program now. But are there any concerns that we need to consider now?
I mean, I still have residents that reach out and they say the same thing. You know, it takes too long for them to come to address the work order, and then make sure they go through the proper channels of reporting it and making sure that they're doing the steps. And so after they've done the steps and I'm sure that they did the steps, then I'll tell them, what protocols to take. But the main thing is a lot of them don't know what's considered an emergency and what's not. And so, like right now, there's one lady saying that she has a leak on her bathroom, in the bathroom on the floor, and it's causing her water bill to go up. And so she was told that somebody was going to come, and she called the 1-800 number a couple of times. She called the office right on here, and still no one came.
If you don't mind, email me the unit.
I will.
All right.
So is there an after hours number?
Yes.
Okay. And do we have somebody on call, or is it you on call?
Yeah, we got somebody every day.
Okay.
Every day. And if your tenant's not sure about what's an emergency, and I'm almost 90% certain it's in the lease agreement.
So it's laid out in the lease agreement. They can refer to that. Okay. All right. Any other questions for Mr. Williams?
No.
So if anybody, prior to next meeting, anybody just give me 10 of these numbers off to the side. Now, it's gonna help me out because I need the QC to work on this anyway. So whatever 10 y'all give me, those will serve as my QC for this month. And I'll give you a report back on whether they open, close, and if I can get feedback from the tenant, I'll give you that too.
Other than emergency or urgent, so emergency, urgent, and then routine and move out. Do we triage the calls at all, or do we do it just in?
Yes, we do. So, and the way we triage it. So, routine. That's every work order that's not emergency. Light bulbs. Enough refrigerators because they are not considered emergencies.
Take my fridge away.
they are not. So when a call comes in, and if the work order is an emergency work order, it is dispatched via cellular device to all of the techs for anybody who's available to go and abate that emergency. Routine work orders, we divide them amongst the guys who are working in the amps, 2 per amp, so we give them those work orders. And you're supposed to have 7 days to complete that work order. And that's my conversation with these guys later on this week, is that part of the policy. You're supposed to have 7 days to take care of these other work orders. I know it get hard sometimes, but we want to get somewhere down there, right? So we averaging 9 days at this point. So it's not too far off, but I think we could. I think we can do it even with the guys that we have now. I think we can do it. We can't get it at 7K, right? But that's the only thing about triage there. So we'll take emergencies and we'll look at those as taking precedence over anything. And then as you go down the list, I would put your refrigerators up in the top, light bulbs down in the bottom.
So y'all don't just do it. The light bulb called before the fridge. Y'all okay? Good.
All right.
That's
Anything
all I've
else?
got.
How many techs do you currently have?
The answer is not enough.
I was
Mr.
gonna say, is there
6.
enough? Just 6. So.
6.
And how many is good? Like
6.
so you only need 6.
No, we really need that.
8 to 10.
Yeah, I thought
Be a
10
good
was
number.
the number before,
8 to
and
10. And we could
yeah.
have 3 at each property and then have 1 or 2 exploders to just go in their emergency situations. That would be the number.
Let me ask this, Mr. Williams, because years ago when I was at when the city sponsored a town hall around this, or it might have been in this room here. One of the residents, he was saying that they were having a problem with lizards coming from behind the cabinets because there were holes behind them. And and my point is that these are some old buildings. So I don't know, is there a way, is that still happening? You all are kind of plugging them as you find them? Or?
I haven't gotten a report of lizards, right, in a as far as holes being behind the cabinets, it's almost, it's not impossible, but when you think about it, you probably don't have some holes behind the cabinets. When you have electrical coming through, when you have plumbing coming through, I mean, you always find them back there. That's not the reason that you have lizards inside. You have holes outside that let lizards inside. Once they get in the wall, they have to come outside. We have done some exclusion on a lot of the buildings, and we do exclusion on the buildings all the time. And I think the biggest problem with it is when they added AC units in these buildings, the chases that they built outside, been there a long time. And they foamed them back in, but now the foam is gone and the things that go up, and they have to have big holes up there for the line sets to come in. The buildings were retrofitted to have AC. The holes were never there. And retrofitted to have dryers. They didn't have them. They didn't exist. So they had to put all that stuff in. So we find that we have to take the chases off a lot of the times and do exclusions there, not only for lizards, but for rodents and things like that. That's where you get most of them from. Inside into the buildings.
And so, do the units come with the washer and dryer in them?
We have no.
But just
the hookups are there.
The hookup is there.
Yeah, the hookups are there.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't provide. Like talking about workload. If you had the service washers and dryers too, yeah. Be trouble.
I have a question. Pest control. What's the
Pest
update?
control, I try.
Who handles pest control? That's not a maintenance area?
I don't take a hit for it. It's a different division.
I think the question.
What is she asking about?
Who handles it, I guess?
Yeah, what's the question? I'll try to answer.
No, it's pretty much for Mr. Basin. We were told a couple months ago that he was going to put our RFP out for a new pest control vendor. I'm just asking what's the update on that while we're talking about it.
Was it the same company?
The RFP went out in July, and I think it was extended because we only got one vendor, and we only ended up with one vendor. And so now I think we just have to seek approval from HUD, explaining that we only had one vendor to go ahead and get approval to move forward with determining this is the individual that we want to hire. Because it's not competitive.
So we haven't been doing pest control because of that?
No, we have one.
No.
We're trying to replace the current one. We
Oh,
haven't
okay.
get someone that is maybe
I just
newer
want to
and
make
better.
sure we.
Yeah, no, we
Okay.
have pest control.
All right. And so, why is it pest control on the maintenance?
It's under public housing.
But maintenance is of public housing, isn't it?
It is, but it's different. And if we have 6 and we need 8 to 10, imagine the 6 trying to do repairs and spraying as well.
Oh, no. I'm just talking about it being under his division. I knew we would, I'm not saying that we would have the staff doing it, but contracting out would be just up on there.
I think it's always been under public housing.
Okay, all right. But no, I definitely want to talk about adding work. All right, Ms. Hayes, any other questions?
Not at this time.
All right. Commissioners, anything else?
No.
All right, thank you, Mr. Williams. All right. Well, we're at the end of the regular agenda. We have a need for executive session, Mr. Basin, and if so, what areas, commissioners, real estate, legal?
Move that we enter executive session for real estate, litigation, and personnel.
A second.
All right, we have first and a second to enter into executive session for real estate, legal, and personnel. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're in executive session. Let's start with personnel.